Hey, welcome to Play Nerd Allies. Hi, Roll Together. I hope you had a delightful episode today. Did you all do any craziness today? I hope so. Also, I want to know, what is our new do we have our new fabulous little emote? Today, is that what we have? We've got a little fabulous emote. I'm gonna spam. We've got a brand new animated emote.
Oh my god! It's a Thule. What the fucking?
It's a Thule.
That is great. I'm so
That's
happy.
really cute.
That is very in character.
So happy. So we have, in our emote game, we definitely have our Wheel of Chaos emote, which is delightful. We've got our, what are all the emotes that we've got? We've got the Wheel of Chaos, we've got a Thule now, we've got Dappled Dreary Sauce as our raid emote, which is totally fabulous because she's a pirate queen, so she raids a lot of things. We've got our delightful beholder welcoming us, and we've got our little dark elf falling down because he does every single combat. He just falls down. So I love that. Yay! I'm excited. I'm really excited today because we are trying something new and delightful, which we are wont to do here on the stream. And I will be getting to our guests in just one moment, but first I'd like to mention our fabulous sponsors. First of all, Hero Forge! We love you, Hero Forge! Hero Forge is delightful. They help really raise your character art game if you have no capacity for visual arts like me. I am bad at it. I'll sing you a song, I'll do a little dance for you, I'll do a little voice acting for you, but drawing that character is not a thing. I feel like somebody should probably just take a hammer to my hands every single time I try to draw anything. I feel like that would just be better for everyone. So I've got Hero Forge to help me create fabulous 3D character art for free, which is fabulous. So head over to heroforge.com, and if you love your character, you can color it yourself. You can also have them send you a physical token. They will create your fabulous character for you, and you can take it home with you because they are amazing. So head over to heroforge.com. Let your imagination run wild. As you can see, the imaginations of our fabulous characters have run wild with these glorious creatures that you see on the screen behind them. And support a fabulous member of the community that definitely supports us and so many others in this community, including Roll Together. In addition, I definitely want to shout out Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. If you look down on the screen, you can see a fabulous code that you can use to get an Electrum chest in-game. It's a fabulous mobile game where you get to play, what? Champions of the Forgotten Realms, yay! My personal favorite is, of course, Jarlaxle, because he has a fabulous hat.
When you can get you that hat.
It's got a purple hat with a feather in it.
I think I've had a crush on him since I was like 10.
We all have. I feel like, what would the fan club for Jarlaxle be called even?
Fools?
Jarlaxle lads?
What's drow for foolish mortal?
Oh yeah, legit.
Very step on me energy.
We would be the get away from me. I love it. Use that code. You can use it all week long. It is super fun little idle game where you get to collect all kinds of coins and cool treasures and lots of little friends. You get all these little friends that'll help you out, like a little red panda. It's super cute. And finally, I would like to say thank you to Phoenix Dice. Phoenix Dice. We love them because they create amazing dice. They're all based on mythological creatures, and you can win a set of Phoenix Dice today if you hit exclamation point raffle. Just exclamation point raffle. And at the end of the stream, we will roll for a winner, and you can win some Phoenix Dice. So, love that. And now, are we prepared? No, we just gonna.
I thought your sentence wasn't done. I thought you were gonna say, "Are you prepared to play some D&D?" You're just like,
Yes.
"Are you prepared?"
See, I switched it up.
I guess I'm
I
prepared.
switched it up.
Fans out. I'm good.
The reason I asked if you are prepared is because we're not going to start quite yet.
Oh.
The very first thing that we are going to do is we are going to learn a little bit about these brand new characters. So, let's start with you, Sugar.
Oh. You're referring to me.
I would like to know, and people at home, just FYI, these are brand new characters that are entering this world for the first time. We don't know much about them. They are very powerful, and their motives seem to be a little mysterious. But, Maltobin,
Yes.
I would like to know, a month ago when you started collecting these friends here,
Friends is a very strong word.
It is. Collecting these
Associates. Let's go with that.
pawns in your chess game. Which one did you pick first?
The first one I sought for would have been, well, the spell starter. The one attuned to the Touchstone of Magic.
Mm.
They are a priority to me.
And tell me, Sullivan, where did he find you?
He found me, as I often am, in the common room, carousing, dancing, having a grand time.
Fabulous. Now, what kind of common room was this? Was this a genteel bar? Was it a pirate's tavern? Where were we?
Oh, don't think me so boring. Nothing that's not exceedingly loud with many bodies would do. And let's not be coy. We know it wasn't exactly a normal common room, was it? There was quite a bit of bare flesh.
There was, and that is exactly what you will find in the city of Buttress on the Isle of Briny Bridge, where the halfling pirates make their homes. In this fabulous common room, not only do you find halflings, but you also find all manner of fey creatures that for some reason have not been able to get back to their homes through the portal that exists on the island. So the tavern is full of fairies, sprites, dryads, hags of all stripes. Tell me, which one was your favorite?
Oh, well, I came looking for a new friend, let's say, someone I'd never met but had heard great tales of and thought they could use a special drink, so I imagined they were my favorite. They were, a gentleman who'd found his voice to be absolutely magical in the near past. Shame what happened. Choked on stage. Normally it's not quite so literal.
I love it. Tell me, when you found Sullivan, what were they doing?
Well, they were carousing in a house of ill repute in the most indecent manner I have ever had the displeasure of witnessing. Truly,
A
when I
den of
was...
iniquity, do you say?
Of course. There I was, entering into the chamber, expecting to be delighted by a hostess, a guest, the fine owner of this establishment. Instead, I saw the bare buttocks of a man whose aid I needed.
Okay, good. Good. I'm very curious how this conversation went, so we're going to have it right now. You have entered this establishment. You have found Sullivan with their pants around their ankles. Go ahead.
Young man, I understand the establishment we are in, but please show some degree of decency.
Decency! Why, for this very environs, this is the soul of decency, sir. Spins around, completely uncaring of his state of undress. And who might I say that I am gracing with this vision of beauty and illustriousness?
Before you continue, thank you for the raid, Dutch Dungeons! Yay!
Welcome to the show, everyone.
Welcome. And apologies, continue.
You are boisterous. If you must know, my name is Taliver Moltovan, though you can refer to me as Moltovan. I am unfortunately within this establishment, for I am seeking you specifically, or rather, that which you hold possession of.
Oh, now that which I hold possession of, I'm afraid you're going to have to be a bit more specific, given that you've caught me at a rather embarrassing time.
Well, in this embarrassing
As
moment...
you say that, you hear a voice from behind you, Moltovan, asking a very pointed question. Why you don't like my tavern? Huh? What's wrong with my tavern? And you turn around, you see Dapple Dreary Sauce, the queen of the halfling pirates, standing before you.
My
You got a
apologies.
problem? You got a problem with the tavern?
I meant no disrespect. I'm not well acquainted with such fine eateries.
Listen, you can cut the shit right now, all right? Nobody needs your BS over here.
Perhaps you're right. Sullivan, was it?
Yes, that's my name.
When you are finished up here, would you mind meeting me? I'll be outside.
It could be some time. I have many new friends to make here, but I will endeavor to meet you after I'm finished in here, yes?
Dapple also is like, you got some old friends to entertain too, all right? I got your cocktails over here on the bar. We got things to talk about.
I do not have
Wondrous! As I understand, you have nothing but time.
Quite the contrary.
Well, I will be about when I am about.
And with that, we have seen the initial conversation between the two of them. Eventually, the two of you will meet up outside the tavern and move forward. But for now, I'd like to hear from Cade on the day that the crystal reformed. You could feel it a month ago. What were you doing?
Well, I was probably sitting with my followers.
So I was probably sitting with my followers and figuring out the next place that we were gonna investigate and try to see if there's anybody that we could help and who would like to join our ranks. And then of course wiping out anybody who tries to resist us. So
Absolutely.
It's a two-pronged.
This is important. Where did you find any resistance?
Yeah.
Ooh, what kind?
The fun. I mean, it's never much of a fight, but I enjoy like making them feel like they have a chance for a second.
Oh my God.
So
Absolutely. That's important. You care
Yeah.
about their feelings as
I
you
don't
are.
want anybody to die disappointed. And I mean,
That's
if it's
right.
between them and me, it's always gonna be me. So yeah, so I just kill them. I have fun with them first. Oh, I'm so hurt, bleh. And then I got my sword, my.
So-
Oh.
My question is, do you allow them a moment to give you their dying monologue? Is that...
If they've impressed me, which isn't very often, but it does happen.
I'm assuming that in this encounter, there was in fact one that seemed fairly impressive. And I'd love to hear what they had to say to you as they were bleeding out on the floor.
Yeah, so it was this he was really nice. He was this really old guy, really old, like super wrinkly. I felt a little bit bad attacking his village at first,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they got in our way. So yeah, I mean, he had a cool quarterstaff. It was older than I am by like a lot, like really old. And he was hitting me with it, and then I cracked it in half with my sword. And he was like, "This staff was crafted from my father." Blah, 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 blah. I listened kind of. I think it was cedar. But yeah, it was great. He died holding on to the staff, and I just kind of laughed and moved on.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God, thank you for the raid. Voivode Kutek. I think that's how you pronounce that. I'm sure I am wrong now. So,
You really gave it the old college try, though.
I did.
You went for it.
I'm trying real hard. Thank you for coming in. There is, first of all, I love that story. That's fabulous. All three of you get inspiration for your delightful intros. And I would like to say, hey, everybody, this session is going to get a little crazy, FYI. And if you would like to help our players out, anything you do that supports the channel also supports our players. So in the About section, there's a whole list of everything that happens if there are bits thrown, or there's subs or donations, or if there is a hype train started. If a hype train gets started, all kinds of things start popping off, including just a free dice giveaway if we get to level 5. Like, we get to level 5, instantly dice giveaway, yay! So, if you'd like to help support the channel, please feel free to check all that out and see sort of what cool things you can do. My personal favorite is over in the donation section. You can create a Wheel of Chaos, which allows all of the fabulous players to roll on the Wheel of Chaos, which may give them phenomenal power, or might give me some bonuses that I can use to ruin their lives. Yay! And with that, let us return to the scene. So you went to Dustborough, which is a little town in the eastern plains of Merchantry, which is the country where Delver's Stream exists. What were you searching for in Dustborough?
Well, it's a little silly, but Dustborough had the best gear and tack, like leather worker around. So I was just like, I really could use an upgrade for Chauncey's barding. He deserves it. He works so hard.
Yeah.
He's just a pony, but he does the work of a warhorse every day.
As you were there, before you started murdering everyone, you did in fact get to hear the story of the favorite piece of barding that they ever created, which was in fact for a giant hyena named Daisy, that was ridden by a strange dwarf into battle. There is we may find Daisy the dwarf later on. We might not, depends on where you go.
But that's definitely a note that I would take. Yeah, if there's something really
Yes.
shiny, Chauncey deserves the best.
Yeah. So you know that they can do any sort of arting that you want. There's absolutely. So is there anyone left alive in the village?
Oh yeah, and who said that they would join us. So if you get an option, it's there's always
Fantastic. So now, what exactly are they joining?
Well, that would be telling.
And we will discover that later. Well, wait.
All right.
Delightful.
Kate is running Fight Club. Good to know.
So, if the first person that you met was the Sullivan, and their and their delightful neutery, how long did it take you to find Cade after that?
I would say it took us approximately about 10 days. After convincing him to leave Briny Bridge and get all of his affairs in order, he finally managed to show up at the harbor to set sail for the main country.
Fabulous. I love it. There is, so a week you said.
Yes.
I would like to know, because it will probably take you another week to find your fourth. In that week, you discover that in merchantry, in Joaquin Spiral, the large city that is the capital of merchantry, that is set out in a spiral with 6 arms, there's an entire section of the city that is all entertainment. It is all taverns and theaters, all kinds of open spaces and beautiful places to go. There is a person who has the 4th touchstone that you need to accomplish what you want. But after having a very brief conversation with them, you realize they will never go along with your plan. You must find someone who can take the touchstone from them.
Sullivan.
Yes.
You hail from an island of piracy.
Oh, I don't hail from there, but I did spend quite a bit of time there, yes.
Did you perhaps get word of anyone capable?
Oh, quite a bit of capable things. I met this one woman who could do things.
No.
Not
Not that. At eliminating problems.
Oh! Yes, I think I know someone.
Would you be able to get in contact with them?
Oh, yes, quite ably. I can get in contact with most people with the right time and incentive.
Do so.
Now, I believe there is a word that's called magic that still functions.
I can get us shots.
Ha ha! I was going with please, but I'll take the shots.
Absolutely. Speaking of shards, also known as crystals, one of the things that you notice in the city is that the magic users seem to be abnormally anxious everywhere you turn, whether it's in the religious arm of the city or in the section of the city that houses the libraries and the academies. Everyone seems to be in something of a tizzy. And you notice a particular individual striding past, holding very tightly to their purse.
I am going to... Yeah, I'm going to reach into their mind.
Oh dear. Okay, what are you going to use to do that?
I'm going to utilize a bit of artifice that I crafted. The mind's eye.
Ooh.
And using that in conjunction with my Psychic Whispers feature from Soul Knife, I shall pry into their most surface thoughts.
As you get into them, they seem a little muddled and confused. You can tell that this person has a lot of anxiety about something. And as you remain inside their head, you begin to hear more and more of this. That damn Caltrock. He's going to try to steal all of them. We said that we would share. We said that we would share because we have to finish the ritual. But, he's going to try to steal them. I know. I must hide them. I must hide them. I must hide them.
Within their head, they would hear me speak. Hide what?
He just trips immediately and drops the leather bag that he was holding, and crystals begin to just fall out of it. He immediately looks around, super paranoid, and begins scooping the crystals back in.
I place a foot onto the bag that he's scooping everything into. It is this artificed boot with plating of this gold-like metallic fixtures, and on the back of which you see a little fuel gauge that looks depleted at this point. I'm sorry. How did you happen across so much valuable crystals?
He looks up at you and just immediately tries to yank his bag out from under your foot. Please make me a dexterity saving throw.
I will make a dexterity saving throw for you.
First roll of the game!
First roll of the game! Okay.
All right, let's see.
It is... Ooh, I am going to use several abilities right now as I gain insight from the alternate timeline, in fact. So I'm going to use a D6 in conjunction with my... Oh,
ooh.
Nice.
Look at this. With an 18, you manage to just shift your weight. There is a part of you that actually feels yourself fall down as this is tugged out from under you. And for a brief second, you watch one timeline of this person disappear around a corner. But in this one, you simply shift your weight onto your toe so that you are not unbalanced by this. And he just looks up at you and snarls and says, "You'll have the entire circle after you if you don't let me go. And you don't want that, do you?"
I have handled more than a simple cabal of want-to-be cultists. Now, if you care for your continued existence, you do away from me now.
With that, we are going to shift our scene to a lovely, serene little smoke. There is a gorgeous little girl named Bella, who is just cherished. I'd like to know what Bella's doing for the first couple of weeks after the world seems to shift in some way that you're not quite aware of.
I suppose that she's probably looking for just kind of carrying on with her life. There's not a lot that she personally feels like she could do. I'm sure that she still has to make make ends meet. So she's still collecting a lot of the mushrooms that she uses in her tonics to sell to the pharmacy and all of that.
Absolutely. There's definitely, so out in the world, there's definitely a few things that you notice out in nature, that some of the more potent plants, the things that would be used by other people in your tribe in like magical tonics or elixirs or things like that, that they seem to have started growing these small crystals all over them. But other than that, everything is sort of fine.
I think the first few times she saw them, she probably would have brushed them off thinking that they were useless. But if everything is starting to grow them, I'm sure she would have made the connection that these are because of some properties that these things have.
So, what are you spending your days doing?
I think that she would still be planning her big hunts to take down her large prey, as she likes to call them, and again, just trying to live, trying to get by until she can formulate some kind of plan to get back at those who wronged her.
Absolutely. What exactly is the large prey that you were going after?
Mostly business moguls who routinely destroy the land that she calls home and the land that so many others like her call home.
Absolutely. Living on the western, on the border between merchantry and on Ballant, there's definitely, like, the people of merchantry are ruled by capitalism, and they, definitely when they find resources, they just sort of come in, start screwing around with it. There is one area, though, of the forest that you used to go collect a lot of mushrooms in. That was very important. There was a certain kind of mushroom that only grows in this one area of the swamp. And what you have found is that because much of the swamp is now being sort of drained on one side, there's an area of the swamp that's being drained, that some larger creatures have now headed into that area. And the big one that you have found is you've tracked down a froghemoth.
I'm sorry, can you say that word again?
A froghemoth. A giant, tentacled, amphibious monstrosity.
All right, and I know that they're not native to these parts.
They're native to your swamp, but typically they will be far, like, in the sort of deeper areas of the swamp, closer to the lake. But in the area where you would pick the mushrooms, they're now starting to inhabit there because they're being shoved out of their environment.
I see. I would most likely investigate why they are being shoved out, who is creating these obstructions, and make that my next mark.
Absolutely. As you are sort of surveying the area, you begin to see signs of magic at work, which is a little odd because the people in your village have definitely talked about how magic essentially is no longer working in the area. You don't know if that's like a local phenomenon or if that is a larger one. But you are definitely finding signs that something is happening.
All right. I think am I in the village? Or sorry. I think I would probably ask around for how they're doing it.
So you're asking around your village to see if anybody knows what like some of these symbols and rituals look like.
Right, yes.
Fabulous. There is after you've gone, checked it out, and collected a few like rubbings to show them, you get to the village, and one of the older Grums, who has some experience with magic, especially natural or druidic magic. And thank you for the follow, Violet. They say, well, this is interesting. This is definitely the markings of this is holy magic. This isn't natural magic. This is something to do with. I'm not familiar with these writings here. I'm not really sure what they mean, but you know who has lots of temples? There's going to be Joaquin Spiral. We'll have many temples. You could probably find out about this.
I will head there immediately then. Thank you.
If you go, be careful. I have had strange dreams of late.
I have seen them as well. I will walk with aid. I will find someone to go with.
That would be good. Take care of yourself. It would be the sadness for us at our village if anything happens to you.
I bow and head out.
Fabulous. Now, we come back to the scene on the street. The man looks up at you. There's nothing you can do to stop us.
Oh,
Magic's not working. Don't you realize that?
I'm quite aware. But while you wallow in the throes of a dying world, I progress forward.
As soon as he reaches out to try to grab one of the crystals, and as soon as he does, it sort of lights up a little bit, and you can see this vague sort of shimmering thread between the crystal as he's about to try to cast a spell and Sullivan.
Oh, gods.
You said
What
he's
are you
about to cast a spell.
I will give you 15 seconds to tell me what exactly you're going to do.
He's about to cast a spell. I'm just going to... I am 3 feet tall. I am already close to the ground. Grab up 2 crystals, immediately crush them, and you watch as they get, the dust itself gets absorbed into my coat as I let loose a swift EMP of Dispel Magic.
Sadly, the Dispel Magic doesn't actually do anything because there's not yet any magic to dispel.
Fair enough.
So is anybody else going to do anything?
Does Sullivan know that something is targeting him at the moment?
So nothing's targeting you.
Well, at the moment, Sullivan is gathering up the crystals in front of him without knowing much that there's nothing I can do at the moment.
Fabulous. There is, as you attempt to dispel some magic, as you attempt to grab some crystals, I'm going to need all 3 of you to do a little dexterity saving throw, if you wouldn't mind. Just a little one. Just a cute little dexterity save throw. It's
Can
fine.
you be dex save?
It's fine. It's fine. Okay, a 17. That's decent. There you go. Ooh, come on, Tobin.
All right, just going to add 5 to that, and then roll a d6.
All
So
right,
5, that's
11.
11. 11 plus 3 is, oh boy, I don't know how to do math. 14.
14.
14. That's as much
It's a
juice I
14.
can give to this.
And Baba Yaga, what about you? What about little Cade over there doing the thing?
I don't have to make the dexterity at disadvantage, right? Just normal roll? Because it's not a
should be
dexterity
normal.
ability.
It's not. No. So it's just. Oh damn. Oh, it says no. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
So Sullivan, you can, because you are so well attuned to magic, you can sort of see what's happening, but this is a very experienced mage. They know what they're doing. So you manage to duck out of the way just in time as a lightning bolt just rips through your companions.
Oh.
Oh, can't have that. Is he
Yeah.
still on the ground?
Is there something that you'd like to do as a reaction?
As a reaction, yes, I would like. Let's go with. He's currently prone and restrained is the idea, right?
No, he's not.
Okay.
There is
Well,
there's a boot on his back, but he just happens to be on the ground, so he's prone.
Then let's go with stomp on the back of his neck.
So that would be. So is that a reaction or is that an actual? Because that would be an attack.
Oh, yes, sorry.
So something that you can do in like the split second between the time he starts casting the spell and the time he finishes.
Oh, sorry. Then yeah, let's go with counterspell.
Oh damn! All right, tell me what your counterspell looks like.
For Sullivan, it's very simple. Turn, snap fingers.
So as you turn and you snap your fingers, what's very interesting is that you've countered spells before. And typically you sort of feel the magic that's welling within a person suddenly get blocked and diverted in harmless ways, like maybe light or color or something like that. With this, what you see is as you cast the counter spell, the crystal itself just turns to dust in this mage's hand, and you see a couple of little sparks sort of come out of their fingers. And as that happens, he looks at you, realizes that you know magic, and immediately just drops the bag and runs.
No, he doesn't.
Oh dear. Okay, yes.
I mean, he can try to run, but he's getting tackled.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we are going to go into a fun little thing called 10-second combat.
Oh, boy.
Each of you may give me one motion that you make. Something that would just be like, I swing my arm towards him, or I run and leap to tackle him. Something simple like that. And then I will get a reaction to each and every one of you, and you will in turn continue going. And if you falter, it means you have fallen out of the fight. So, are you prepared for our first 10-second combat?
Oh, yes.
Okay, fabulous. I would like you to roll initiative, please.
Rolling, baby.
So I know whose turn it's going to be.
Hold on. We like touch. Fair and
Fabulous. All right. So if you click on your token and then you click initiative, then it'll just pop into the initiative order automatically.
I see not my token.
So if you go over to the thing that looks like a newspaper on the top of the Roll20,
I see him now.
you should have a thing, and you should be able to drag it out onto. Don't grab the picture, grab the name That's a mistake that I made a lot when I was starting.
Excellent.
And let's see what.
Oh.
Oh, damn! All right, so there you go. And that's not a bad initiative roll for a mage, but still, they're going last. So
Yeah.
we are starting with you, Sullivan. 10 seconds on the clock. What are you gonna do?
Run after him. Leap to tackle.
Fabulous. As soon as you do that, he whips around a corner, grabbing a light post and dodging you. Next, Maltoven, what do you do?
Amp, Prime Eldritch Cannon. And you see a small little droid begin to hover. It shifts, its front plate shift, and a massive cannon being primed at the ready begins to whir up.
As he sees this starting to form, you see him literally continue spinning around the lamppost until he gets enough momentum that he can actually fling himself up onto the closest marked stall roof. Cade, what are you gonna do?
I was gonna charge him, but now he's up high. I'm out. Oh, fuck. I'm in heavy armor.
He's analyzing the situation and trying to figure out what's going on. Sullivan, what are you gonna do?
I am hitting the ground, rolling, popping up, and skittering up the side of the wall.
Fabulous. He is going to start running across the rooftop as quickly as he can. Maltoven, what are you going to do?
This is such a waste of fuel. Come with me, Amp. And then both of us ascend off the ground towards him. You see bursts of sputtering arcane energy coming from my boots as both Amp and I head towards rooftops.
Fabulous. As he sees you enter the air, you watch him. There seems to be some chimneys and things like that atop some of these roofs. It's obvious that you're running across the top of not just stalls, but also some taverns, some shops, things like that. You see him do a running flip over the top of one of these roofs, and you watch as two daggers suddenly come flying towards you and your little friend.
Oh, fuck.
Sullivan, what are you gonna do?
Sullivan is chasing after him, using what I assume to be his superior speed to keep pace. Tries to take his leg out from under him with a swipe of his hand as he runs up on him.
Oh, fabulous. You manage to catch a leg as he is releasing the daggers towards your friend.
I like Maltoven. Why he's trouble with me, I have no idea.
Of course you don't.
As you grab his leg, you do catch a knee to the face as he twists in midair, attempting to get away from you. Maltoven, what are you going to do?
As the two daggers fly towards Maltoven, he just kind of looks to his arm, presses a button, and there's a pulse as both of daggers just fly either direction. Cast shield. Fire Amp. The Eldritch Cannon goes off, sends out a burst of force energy at this would-be escapee.
I love it. You see the two daggers just sort of fly in opposite directions and then bury themselves very deeply in a couple of walls around you. And this cannon just goes off and slams into this guy. Sullivan, what are you going to do?
If he got hit by the cannon, Sullivan will take the knee to the face to keep the hold on his leg and add another point of contact. Arm, the other leg, doesn't matter. Grab, drop.
As you grab one of his arms and slam him into the ground, the air gets knocked out of him, and 10-second combat is over. Huzzah, you have found him!
Maltoven.
Now unconscious and looking like he is pretty damaged.
Maltoven and Amp both make their way over and begin to slowly descend, touching base on the ground. Did you manage to catch him?
Sullivan will hold the man's arm up. I do have a question though. Does he need absolutely all of his fingers? Because it would make our life easier if he doesn't have them.
Do what you will with him. I do not care.
Oh, excellent. Sullivan will put the arm on the ground very carefully, stomp on the fingers as hard as he can.
Absolutely will. You hear this sort of stifled moan. Anybody who is in their presence can give me an insight check.
I shall.
And I think we can move back from the battle music into regular music.
All right.
So, show
That
me
is
some-
a 32 insight.
Oh my
Natural
God.
20.
Wow.
And a 29 insight.
You know that this person has experienced major trauma in their life, that they have in fact been, either they have experienced torture before and know how to deal with it, or they have in fact been trained to not be affected by it, which is why instead of crying out, literally there was like a small grunt and some gritted teeth. I am going to switch the scene over to our fabulous Walt Brown. Over the course of the last few weeks, you have made your way to merchantry. You have discovered that there are some people that seem to be operating out of one of the temples that have something to do with the lake. You have found the symbol that you've been looking for, and it is in the Temple of Wisdom.
Okay. Now, did I run into anybody on my way there? Did I encounter any problems?
Not yet. No, this is, so as far as the timeline goes, we are about an hour before that fight that just took place.
Okay. I suppose I investigate who would have drawn these markings.
So you see that the all over the temple are the markings that you see. They're all holy symbols and magical symbols for the god of wisdom. Would you like to do anything inside the temple? Would you like to just sort of watch? Would you like to interact? What would you like to do?
I think I want to take copies of all the symbols that I see. I want to take note of everything that they're doing here. I also,
Okay.
if it's within my abilities, want to just kind of sense to see if anybody is sleeping nearby.
Absolutely. So you know that like within the temple that there are quarters for the clerics, and that there is on the altar is the light of wisdom. It is a fire that is never allowed to go out. There is as you are sort of prowling through the shadows, you definitely hear talk about how the light went out for a few seconds when magic sort of died. But that they rebuilt it very quickly, and now they have to do it in shifts. So there's always somebody sleeping because they have to maintain this fire 24 hours a day now without magic.
Okay.
Make me an investigation check and a stealth check, please. I want to
Okay.
see just how sneaky you are. Give it the
25 on stealth.
you're fine.
9 investigation.
Okay, all right. So nobody sees you as you are sort of sneaking around the compound. You definitely notice that things are a little tense right now, but you don't see too much out of the ordinary. You take note of like the robes that they wear, that they all carry ceremonial daggers, and that that occasionally there's like several of them that will sort of disappear for a while and then come back, but you can't sort of see where they're going.
Okay.
What part of the temple would you like to investigate?
I want to stay close to the guards' quarters, wherever the guards are sleeping. And I want to climb up into the rafters and just sit and meditate for a second and try and go into one of their dreams and nudge them to remember how they relit the fire.
Fabulous. So as you do that, you see that the fire is just a fire. Which is strange because normally it's a magical fire. So you're not really sure why they would shift that. But you also see a small door towards the back of the temple that the guard that you're jumping into their dreams doesn't really know why that door exists and has never been inside.
Interesting. Okay. I'll come back to and go to the door, wherever that may be.
Fabulous. As you are investigating, as you sort of follow the dream, and of course things are different in the dream, so it takes you a little while to like sort of see what it is, because everything's sort of a different perspective when you're inside a dream. But eventually you find it, and it's behind, it's not only behind the altar, it's down behind like a couple of curtains. And I'm going to need, or would you like to enter it, or would you like to just watch for a while? What would you like to do?
I'd like to try and see if I can hear anything on the other side.
Absolutely. You can give me another stealth check. This one at disadvantage because there's no sort of easy places to hide near the door.
Gotcha. 28.
So interestingly enough, a lot of the decorations are green and pink. So there's like a tapestry next to it that you can literally just stand next to, and it looks like you're part of the tapestry.
Fantastic.
So that's delightful.
My kind of place.
And as you're listening, you hear them begin to speak. You have to take these. You must get them to the lake. There's nothing we can do without them. Listen, every magical item in the entire temple has been destroyed and covered in these. I can't cast any longer, and neither can anyone else here, unless we use these crystals. If we're going to figure out what is going on, we have to get to that lake and we have to perform the ritual. So, quietly, get these to the lake.
Do I hear them approaching the door?
You what?
Do I hear them approaching the door at all?
No, it sounds like you do hear the sound of another door though.
Okay. I want to see if I can like peek through a keyhole or something to see what they're trying to get to the lake.
You can sort of see, but not enough to really identify what's going on.
Okay. Do I know which lake they're talking about?
You can. I'm just going to say, yeah, you are intelligent enough to put it together that with all of these symbols here and at the lake by your home, that's the lake they would be going to.
All right.
You are a practiced enough puncher.
I'm going to rush home. I feel like this is probably going to be very detrimental to everything nearby that lake.
Fabulous. Do you want to head home on your own? Are you going to like try to like follow this person and find out something more? Or do you want to avoid them?
I want to beat him there.
Okay. All right. How are you going to exit the temple? Are you going to exit the same way you came?
I'll probably crawl along the ceiling.
I was not ready for that response of all responses.
Why would I not
you-
crawl along the ceiling?
I mean,
Are you going to
Cross
crawl
the
on the
dog.
ceiling back towards the front door? What I'm asking,
Yeah,
are you going to go
out
through this
the,
door or are you going to go back where you
out the
came?
front door, yeah.
Okay.
I can afford that.
With your stealth rolls, nobody notices. Like, I feel like there is just this moment where, like, every time you're sort of crawling along a wall and somebody approaches, you just sort of take a pose,
Just a frog
and
statue.
it looks like,
Yeah.
like a fabulous statue.
Mhm. Perfection.
Especially
camo-
with the bow. Like,
Oh yes, uh-huh.
Camouflaging as
out.
like a part of the stained glass.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There is. So you make it back out. And as you are heading back out of the city, you sort of take the track that this priest was taking, that this cleric was taking, in order to make sure you know where they're headed, so that you can use the fact that you know the land much better than them to get where you're going first. As you are following them, you suddenly see a fight break out between 3 individuals and this guy, and they beat him up pretty bad, and then you watch as they crush his fingers under their boot.
Wow.
And now
I judged them all silently.
what would you like to do?
It's honestly like a squabble between people I don't care about. I feel like my hometown is in danger, and I think I'll keep going.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really do just judge them silently.
Fabulous. So, of the other 3, I'd like to jump back over to Cade. I'd like to know, so as you are watching this person being sort of dragged in front of you, and I'm assuming at this point you have taken the purse, you've taken the bag.
yeah, I picked it up since they ran off to chase. I'll do something useful. So yeah, I got the shards.
Now, as you watch what's happening in front of you, what are you going to do?
Well, it doesn't really break any of my tenets to let my associate break this man's casting fingers, because he did use it in violence against us, and there is no mercy ever. So I'm just kind of confused why in the first place. Like, I didn't see him. I was too busy thinking about my pony. So like, I don't know how it started. I just know that we just beat the crap out of this guy, and he tried to cast a spell at us. So anything we do to him is fair game.
Very rude. I'd like to know, if somebody were like maybe on top of a roof near you, what would they see as they looked down on you?
Off the top of your head.
They would see this very short figure in like a matte navy blue armor, with a very huge helmet with 2 giant horns, just kind of like put their hands on their waist, look up at their like, okay, as they go off, and then just well, I guess I'll pick this up in the middle of the street. And then just going over to the side of the street, kind of keeping an eye on where it's going on the rooftops and coming down, reacting to the cannon shot. Whoa! Because that's still a new thing.
Yeah.
And then, I would just be waiting and impatiently, like teenager style, just I'm bored, playing with my sword.
I love it. And what would your pony look like? Your pretty pony.
Chauncey. Chauncey is his name, and he is a bay pony. He has very pretty, like golden blonde fur, and then his mane and his tail are actually red because we've gotten it stained with the blood of our enemies.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
It just, it doesn't come out after so long. It just doesn't come out. So, yeah, he's a very pretty blonde with a red mane and tail.
Absolutely.
And he's also very old. So like he drools sometimes and his lip will sag a little bit. But he's still got it. He's still good. Just a little drool.
Absolutely. So, Maltoven and Sullivan, you have dragged this person back in front of your friend, your new friend, Kate.
Thank you for your attempt at assistance. It was appreciated.
Well, I'm not, the armor makes it hard to climb things. I think, yeah. I mean, I didn't try really, but I'm pretty sure it would.
It's well enough. I personally have no use for this stuff. I think it gets in the way. It makes taking off clothes much more difficult.
But you don't have to wear anything underneath it.
Don't encourage him.
I am intrigued.
No.
Tell me, before we talk about public exhibitionism in its multitudinous forms, we have a man who knows of a ritual that's trying to be enacted. Isn't that right, friend? Like, it's kind of like smack him awake.
A ritual
So I can make
and a
him...
cabal
Oh,
Yes.
with training in how to resist torture.
Very interesting indeed.
this sounds like he'd be my kind of people. But I can heal him back up and wake him up real quick, no problem. And then if we want to, we can just kind of heal him, beat him, heal him, beat him.
He's that's fine. That's fine. You're fine. It's fine. Absolutely. There's you find that he is still awake.
If you heal
Knock
him,
unconscious.
Right.
if you heal him, just make sure not to set his fingers first. That way they heal broken and he can never use them again.
Of course. Gentlemen,
Oh.
I do not believe we ended up getting your name before you were brutally beaten.
And you won't.
Fair enough. I don't give a shit about your name, honestly. I just need to know what the fuck you were trying to do, enacting some goddamn ritual.
I was trying to fix things that people like you are breaking.
If you're trying to reverse a mandate by a god, allow me to give you a word of caution. Don't.
Especially the god of wisdom.
You know nothing.
You're an idiot, and you're going to kill yourself enacting something that could not work. And we are just trying to make sure you don't kill more people needlessly.
Oh, this
The
man's
god of
enacting
wisdom.
no magic ever again.
The god of wisdom is not the only god involved here.
Pray tell who else?
You may look into the lineages of the gods to find your answer, but you will not find my tongue flapping all over this city.
Would you prefer your tongue removed?
It wouldn't matter.
Kate's gonna lower the face mask on her helmet so that it's like the full effect, and there's a glowing blue skull underneath the face mask, and just be like,
You will answer the question.
I roll to intimidate.
You may roll to intimidate, but this is going to be a disadvantage because he's already seen that you're a 15-year-old girl. And not like a giant demon monster.
That should
like
not
the
be a
rest would have been.
disadvantage.
15-year-old girls are fucking
They're
brutal.
terrifying.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, don't,
Horrifying.
It's still good.
Okay, with a 20, yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. You look down and you realize that when you said that something happened. Give me an insight check.
Oh no. That's so bad. I got a
Believe in
negative
you.
1.
Oh God.
Oh,
Yay,
damn.
raise!
Oh hey.
All the raves.
It gave me good luck.
Welcome, Penny Dragon Games. Welcome. We are in the middle of introducing a whole crew of people that may or may not be horrific villains.
And honestly, I'm going to offer some additional insight to Cade here. I'm going to use another one of my flash of geniuses as I take a glimpse into infinity and gain some insight into what other possibilities lie here.
Love it. All right, gimme that D6. That's
actually that's a straight +5 to this.
Oh, damn. All right, with a 22, you look down at the face of this cleric, and you realize that you saw this look on the faces of some of the kids that you grew up with. And it very specifically was obviously he has been, verbally abused by his by like the mean girls in the temple. And so as this happens, you see him sort of tear up a little bit, and whereas the physical torture didn't do anything to him,
Oh no.
you can see like some cracks happening in
The scorn of a teenage girl.
Hell hath no fury. Like a teenage girl's angst.
And before we discover exactly what's going to come out of this fabulous encounter, we're going to take a little bit of a break, just a little 5-minute break. Everybody who is in chat, thank you so much for being here. It's so delightful to see all of you. I hope that you are enjoying so far. While we go on break, definitely go hydrate, get up, look outside, look at the sun or the moon, depending on where you are in the world. And please go check out our sponsors, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, HeroForge.com, and if you would like to, oh my gosh, thank you for the sub.
Oh my
God! Lando, what happens when we get 5 subs? Something delightful, because everything you do that helps the channel also helps our players. Oh, damn.
Shit.
Environmental effect. All right, Ihara. What that means is I'm going to need you to choose between one of the following 3 options. You may choose wisdom, fate, or magic. And as you make that decision, we're going to take a very quick little break, and we'll be back in just a moment. Let me know. I'm super excited. By the way, whatever you choose, that environmental effect will change the entire course of the adventure. So, that's delightful. Okay.
Excuse me.
Our delightful mod, Lando. Let's get some L's in chat for Lando, who's been running this whole stream and runs all our streams.
Oh my God. And also the chat.
Owls in chat.
Love them so much. There is, yes, Lando, we love you. Thank you so much. As he was counting us back in, instead of a 1, we got a lovely burp. So that is, that's delightful. Love that.
A sexy what the fuck in the chat for
Yeah,
Lando.
absolutely. And Ihara, absolutely, the environmental effect can be wisdom.
All right.
So, you see a now very distressed cleric of wisdom at your feet, intimidated by your very mean girl persona. He looks up at all of you and says, "You have no idea what you're dealing with."
No,
And you
that's why we
never-
want you to tell us.
You would have no idea what to do with that knowledge. You haven't, and he grabs his holy symbol, says, "You haven't the wisdom to understand it."
Sullivan will lean down, unbutton his top, move the little scarf thing aside, and pull out a matching symbol. You would be surprised.
So would you, as he flips his holy symbol around, and you see something different on the back of it. But
That's uncouth.
as that happens, a flash of bright light flares off their holy symbol. Each of you, please make me a... Actually, I'm going to use your passive perceptions. Bella, you are completely blinded by this because you are paying such close attention with your 26 passive perception.
Fantastic. All 12 of my eyes are on it.
Oh God.
Sullivan, you two are totally blinded. Cade and Maltoven, you both managed to turn your face in time not to get the brunt of it. But Cade, please make me a dexterity saving throw. Or you know what? No, make me make me... Yeah, yours would be a dexterity saving throw. And we are going to see what this cleric's sleight of hand check is going to be. Your dexterity saving throw is going to be at disadvantage because we're turning away.
No, I just rolled a 20.
Oh!
Oh no.
It's a waste. That's okay. That's okay. Let me roll again. And it's still good.
All right.
Oh, so it's meets beats. So
Nice!
unfortunately, this one, because he is on the attack, actually beats.
Oh. Oh, I see. In that case, reaction.
Ooh. Tell me what
Flash
you're
of
gonna do.
genius!
Let's see if we can do it. Another flash of genius.
Another flash of genius.
So first off, I'm going to need from you a perception check to see whether, as you are turned around, whether you actually see this happen.
Of course.
Let's see what happens here, shall we?
All right, and I'm now adding a D6 to that. Mm-hmm. Let me just see if this helps.
Do not.
Yep, does that help? Does that help? It's 11.
It does
It's
not.
14. Okay.
14 is
Okay.
not good enough. Sorry.
Not good enough. My
Yeah,
apologies.
Nice try.
You feel the bag tugged right out of your hand. And this guy disappears down the alley once again. You see him reach into the bag, grab a crystal, and you watch as his hand starts healing.
But wait. No.
Yeah. Oh dear. Is that okay? I would like to know whether that is actually what you say.
No, I'm telling you, GM, player to GM. Wait.
No.
Wait, no. And actually, that could work. I'm trying to find the thing on this character that I need to do. So my apologies. Oh my God, where is it?
Yeah.
There's a thing that I can do to make it so he can't run away, and I cannot find it on the sheet.
Is it, are you looking for,
Hold the line. That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit! Okay.
All right.
Hold the line.
What do we have to do?
It is when a creatures provoke opportunity attack from you when they move 5 feet or more while within your reach. And if you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, the target speed is reduced to 0 until the end of the current turn.
Absolutely. Give me two. You have to roll this at disadvantage because you just got blinded by this guy.
Yeah, and it's just a fist. I don't have my sword out, so. But
let's do it.
Fingers crossed.
Like, no, wait.
No, wait.
Oh my God! No, wait. Pop.
And not like because I'm small, so it's a no wait, and I actually aim it for like the small of his back or like his kidneys area. Absolutely. Instead of anything else.
Punch.
So now, since you did not get to participate earlier, I hope you're prepared now. 10-second combat.
Okay, so
let's get that battle music going. Let's see what's gonna happen. Here we go. What's the first thing you're gonna do?
Okay, so Cade punches him tries to aim for the middle of the back. She gets a good, but hits there, and as he's falling.
So that's all you get to do first. So you aim to punch at the small of the back. As you do that, he recognizes a martial creature, when he sees one. And he takes a strap of the bag and deflects your hand as he spins around. What are you gonna do?
I'm a charger. I'm gonna football rush him into the nearest wall.
Yes! Good shit!
Yeah, I mean, that's me.
So as you are charging into this guy, for about like 10 or 15 feet as you're sort of crossing the street holding onto him, you manage to do this, but he manages to wriggle out of your grasp and crawl up onto your back, strangling you with the strap of the bag.
Okay.
What are you gonna do?
Okay. Well, let's get wrestling with this. I'm gonna jump up and throw myself flat back onto my back so that I'm now on top of him in my armor.
So as you are running, you are then going to jump up and
GCW style or AEW style, yes. I am full-fledged. I am athletic AF. I got this.
As you do that,
my brother used to do that to me all the time.
You suddenly hear a crystal crack.
Uh-oh. Shit.
And they cast Hold Person on you. You are now paralyzed. But you are on top of them.
Yeah! It's like, good going somehow. Yeah, can we jump in on this?
Does anybody else want to jump into 10-second combat?
If I've got my sight back, yeah, let's do it.
All right, this is long enough for so you still have after images. So both, if either Sullivan or Bella wants to join, you will have disadvantage on your like it'll be more difficult for you to get things done in this, right? But yes, you may jump in. Bella, are you gonna jump in here?
I've kind of rationalized this all as that this is one of the wisdom priests that I've just learned are plotting something most likely evil to do with my hometown. I am gathering that these people probably want information out of it, the priest. I'm gonna try and just one-shot the priest.
Oh my, just one tap.
You have 10 seconds. 10 seconds to describe to me exactly what you do.
I pull back my bow and I whisper to it, "Find swift placement in my prey," and release.
Fabulous. As that is happening, I would like to know, Maltoven, and Sullivan. Neither one of you knows this arrow is coming. What are you planning on doing in this 10-second combat?
Maltoven already reached for Vault, and he's loading it with a we're going with the wind shard, taking aim before he can even release the trigger. Swing.
Fabulous. All right.
Sullivan is running not towards the priest, but towards the alley to try and catch him and block him off.
Oh, fabulous. So try to get ahead of him. Delightful. As your wind-powered gun goes off, it actually knocks the arrow off of its course, granting this priest just a second to try to wriggle out from underneath. The bag is still caught on the chin guard of our fabulous little 15-year-old. But he does manage to grab a couple of crystals. Tell me, Bella, what are you gonna do? You just watched your arrow get knocked out of the way.
I'm bailing. I'm discovered. I'm running.
Discovered? I've been hacked.
Fabulous. As you begin, so are you heading? So you're heading away from the fight.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So Maltoven, you just watched. Instead of you hitting this person, you hit an arrow that came out of fucking nowhere.
What?
What are you gonna do? 10 seconds.
Target all hostile, non-authorized personnel. And you see a wear up and immediately began priming another fire blast, like another force cannon, aimed squarely at the unconscious, well not unconscious, but like trapped man. As I look at the trajectory of the arrow and try to figure out what the fuck that came from.
All right, Sullivan.
Sullivan. He's waiting for the man to come charging.
All right, fabulous. You are preparing for this. You see this priest grab a big chunk of crystals.
Is it
In
the
their
hand with
hand.
the broken fingers?
I got healed.
Yeah, he's already
Oh.
healed himself.
Right. Okay.
He grabs a big chunk of crystals and suddenly he disappears.
Oh. I'm still frozen though, okay.
Tell me, Bella, what are you doing?
I'm so sorry. I was DMing you a
Right.
question actually.
Yeah.
Can I just ask you?
Yeah.
Does my oath bow work? I've forgotten to set up. The oath bow doesn't like function as an oath bow, right?
No, it does not. It's not magical
Okay.
anymore.
Just wanted to make sure. Wait. I'm so sorry. Could you repeat that?
So you're running right now. Do you continue to run?
Yes, I do. I'm just
Okay.
gonna continue to my and warn my people.
All right. So you're heading towards the gate.
Yeah.
Okay. Fabulous. Sullivan, your quarry has just disappeared. What are you gonna do?
Pull out the water skin, chuck it at where it should be, so that I can see the spilled water and see if I can catch footsteps.
Absolutely. So you see drips glistening in the sunlight, creating like little rainbows everywhere. And you see it begin to move away. Maltoven, what are you gonna do?
Mel's like Emperor's already on the prowl chasing after him. It's not like when they go invisible, no longer really able to make the quarry start scanning for like bioorganic frequencies. Not really taking up much. My focus is on where the fuck that arrow came from. Do I see Bella making haste?
You are not sure what it is, but you see something moving very quickly across the rooftops.
The plot thickens, and I just elevate off the ground. My thrusters going as I make chase after Bella.
Fabulous. You see the water-soaked priest running down the street, sort of in the same direction. It looks like they're heading to try and get out of the city as well. Sullivan, what are you gonna do?
Since I can see where he's going, I am going to cast Maximilian's Earthen Grasp ahead of him, so the hand rises and grabs his leg.
Grabs his leg. Okay, fabulous. As that happens, you see the arm reach up out of the ground and grab something, but you then see it materialize into the actual purse instead of the person as they release their grasp on this purse and continue to run. Maltoven, what are you gonna do?
Seeing the glistening rainbow man make his way, Maltoven loads a spider shard into a bolt, takes aim down, fires it, casting web.
You see something happen as you try to cast this web spell. Something sort of gets gummed up in your gun, and you realize that the shard just stopped.
Fuck. More repairs. I holster
You
it.
you know enough to know that probably you were just counterspelling.
Ah, fuck.
And now, Cade, what do you have? It's been long enough. You've been paralyzed. What are you gonna do? They're right. You see like a giant, like a bag of crystals held by a giant, like stone hand over here. One of your friends is flying over there. There's like one of your friends is casting spells everywhere. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna whistle for Chauncey and ride on my horse and try to
Absolutely.
chase that motherfucker down.
You are.
Chauncey.
I love it.
I love that name.
Yes.
Hello, what are you doing?
Do I see the priest too?
You don't. Like with a 26 perception, you would see something go that like is sort of a little off out of the corner of your eye, but if you're super focused on getting to the gate, you wouldn't realize what it is.
Okay, I'm just gonna continue to the gate. Do I notice that that he sees?
You
me?
absolutely
Also
do
then?
see a flying person coming after you.
Cool. I'm
You're
gonna try
flying
and
rock now.
I'm gonna try and I'm gonna try and get like off the rooftops and like I'm gonna be crawling on like the side of the wall, hopefully being covered by like the overhang of the rooftop.
I would like to hear. So this is fun. I would like to hear how you maneuver this.
I see a man flying up. I kind of like go like straight torpedo, roll off the side of the wall, and like swing back and like slam my body onto the wall and continue climbing and running.
I love it. Maltobin.
Maltobin, after like realizing he got counterspelled, tries to like find once again where Bella went, and they're gone. I get one win today.
Weird.
Hey, you're on a horse. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm trying to keep my eye out for the rainbow droplets, and I literally want to run him over with my horse. Like I'm going to commit
Tasty.
grand horse particular. No.
You are very close. Like you can see it. They're maybe like 20 feet in front of you. Like you're gonna catch them very quickly.
Well,
Sullivan, what are you gonna do?
Sullivan is chasing after him, trying to catch him before the water drips away. At least get a hand on him.
So you're ways behind him at this point, so it's gonna take you a while to catch up.
I'm
gonna-
faster than average. Not as fast as a horse, but
That's true. You are. You. All right. Hey, Bella, what you gonna do? You're if you want to, you can get to the gate.
I get to the gate.
What are you gonna do?
Can I not go over the gate?
You can absolutely like jump over the gate. There are like several guards on top. What are you gonna do with them?
Okay, once I get to like the edge where like of a house where I can see the gate, I'm going to look for an open spot on like a tree branch or something 60 feet away and just close my eyes and appear there. It's hidden path.
Fabulous.
If you're wondering.
So you see, Maltobin, what you see is just like a tree branch very far ahead of you, sort of shift a little bit. That's all you see. And there's like as they are running, the water is drawing very quickly on this mage or on this cleric.
We've no time. I give up trying to find out where Bella goes. I swoop down near him, and get within 5 feet of him as I steal his time.
Okay, as you are doing this, Cade is right there. What are you gonna do, Cade?
I was actually getting ready to do something similar. So yeah, I well, it says if I see someone, but I can see the droplet. So can I see him?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I would want to do the Gaius and tell him to
Oh
stop.
shit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
Okay.
we're done now.
What are
I'm
you gonna
done
do?
playing. You pissed me off. You held me. You like embarrassed me in front of my new work friends. Like, no.
My new work friends.
Absolutely.
So what that
There
would
is. Tell me first of all what this actually looks like as you. So you are utilizing your touchstone.
yes.
As that happens, everyone else with a touchstone, your other two friends that do have a touchstone, suddenly feel this happen. As you begin to utilize it, you feel another touchstone in the city.
Oh.
This one is the Touchstone of Dreams. It's the one that you know you need. And you know exactly where it is.
Sweet.
But tell me what this looks like as you cast the Geas.
Yeah, so riding up on my horse, and the skull that's underneath the actual faceplate in my helmet just lights up into this eerie, ghostly blue, and then the voice comes out, and it's even like it's with the rumbling of thunder, and like the ground shakes a little bit, and it's, and like there's a burst of energy, like of a sound wave type of thing with that. So as that word gets echoed out, like it just makes everything halt for just a brief second, and then the one target, the cleric, is the one that's stuck after everything is done adjusting to that command.
I love it. So your command was stop.
Mm-hmm.
You're a monster.
So let's Moldovan.
Right, fabulous. I am gonna give them an opportunity to withstand. They are a cleric, so they have some decent wisdom. So let's see if they can actually get this DC on this fuse. Oh, they do not. They roll a 2.
Good shit.
Suddenly, they stop. Their spell comes down from them. You see them struggling to breathe as their lungs try to stop. Bella, you suddenly see the cleric appear. I would like to know what you were going to do, Maltovan.
Meltovan was going to basically cast slow on him and haste himself.
Fabulous, fabulous.
So also using my touchstone.
So as you attempt to use your touchstone, right after somebody else used their touchstone. Everybody, please make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, I'm so good at this. That is a lie.
Including me, or?
Yep.
Cool.
Ooh, I don't think a flash of wisdom's gonna, like a flash of insight's gonna stop me from.
Oh damn! All right, Cade.
Feast or famine, right there. 6 or a 22.
Oh, and a 25 from Bella. Absolutely. All right.
Nice.
Let's see. What are we getting from you?
Sullivan,
A 9.
You know what? Sullivan, we hanging out together. Don't even worry
As
about
your
it.
as your two touchstones, because you wanted to do the same thing you wanted to do something to this one target at the same time. As your touchstones suddenly interact with each other, the touchstone called the Binding Word and the Time Knife, suddenly everything stops. You have cast Time Stop on the entire city.
Oh, fuck.
Maltovan, you have stopped. Sullivan, you have stopped. But Cade and Bella, you are free from this effect. You don't know how long it will last. But you see everything around you. Time has stopped. Literally, birds are flapping midair, just stopped where they were. What would you like to do? There's a moment of peace.
Which one?
Go ahead.
Me or,
Bella.
Either
me or
one.
Shades? I see that the wisdom priest is very conveniently stopped in its tracks. I pull my bow out and notch it again and say with much more urgency this time, "Find swift placement in my prey," and let go.
The arrow just goes straight through their chest. But like halfway through, you realize that it has stopped as well. So this priest, this cleric, will be dead when they hit the ground. But time has stopped for your arrow in this moment.
Okay.
Time has still stopped. Cade, what would you like to do? You see this arrow appear.
Yep. So it appears, it's obviously a mortal wound. I'm gonna try to steal his symbol that he had on his neck. I want to like try to quickly pat him down, grab anything on his person, and pants him.
Listen, they're
As a
15.
15-year-old would do, absolutely.
You know, he deserved, like, everybody deserves to die with dignity except for him. He crossed my lines, no mercy.
So you find several more daggers hidden around their person. You do get the symbol off of them, and you find several scrolls.
Okay, cool.
As she is doing this, Bella, what are you doing?
A little bit peeved that it was not a headshot, I knock another arrow. And with even more urgency, say, "Find swift placement in my prey," and aim for his head.
You are trying to get used to the fact that this is no longer an oath bow.
Yes, exactly. Just angrily trying to get it to work again.
Oh.
This is
With
not the
your
time, bro.
rage.
So you have, okay, you bent down to like pants this person, and when you bent down, there was only one arrow in them, and you stand back up, and there is now another arrow in their face. So there is now two arrows in the
Pincushion.
No idea where they came from. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna like play with the arrow that's poking out of his eye a little bit, like wiggle it around, and then turn around and try to find whoever is shooting arrows at this. Like, what? There's somebody. So I'm looking for movement. Is what I'm looking for.
Movement where the world is
You
still.
can
Exactly.
so you can very easily see where Bella is because it's literally the only movement anywhere.
I'm gonna wave. I flip my face mask up. Hi. Shots.
I don't respond, but I try and get a little bit more hidden. Obviously being seen, just no fuck.
You're really good.
I
with
do
the
wave
bow.
though.
Oh, yes, friend.
You got so just a little strong hand just reaches out from some leaves.
God.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave my horse because he's frozen there and just go walk over to the tree and just like with
Oh
like
my god.
yeah no you're found now. I got you, tree girl.
I see you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, hey, that guy was an ass, right? Am I right? What's going on? How come we can move?
I don't know why everything stopped.
You want to come down?
You can. So, Cade, you can feel that it has something to do with your touchstone.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that though. I'm not gonna go
No.
tell everybody. Some frog in a tree. Yeah, I got this magic touchstone. You want us to hold it? It makes people obey you.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, well, me and my work friends, we're probably gonna do something with the body, not the buddy. But I guess because he's gonna die as soon as this wears out. That's gonna be so cool. He was already dying before. He was like, because I told him to stop, and then his head and his heart are just gonna go. Boom. It's gonna be so cool. You should come see.
What were you trying to get out of him?
Well, at first, I don't know. I think just like there's a ritual or something that.
What do you want with the ritual?
I think based off of his thing to fucking stop it. But I don't know. He seemed like an asshole, so whatever he wanted to do, I want to do the opposite of.
That's good enough for me. I swing down.
Cool.
I swing down and I put a glove on to shake her hand.
Yeah. Hi, my name's Cade. You know, this is Moldovan over here. I don't know where Sullivan is, but yeah, I guess we'll hang out here until time starts. Oh God, how long do you think that could be?
Again, no idea what's happening. I've never seen this.
Okay, go. I said stop, so go.
Sadly, it is not working.
Oh.
You can feel internally like something, because you use both the touchstones together, something sort of like you're stretching a rubber band, like you can feel the tightness of reality sort of warping around you, and you know it'll snap eventually. But
Do you want to do something fun, like prank some people before time starts again?
You mean like pulling their trousers down?
Yeah, it's like shaving their heads, or like
Why would we do that?
because it's funny sometimes.
Okay.
I mean,
Sure.
it could be funny. They'll be real mad if they wake up and like somebody ate their dinner, or I don't know. Never mind, that's stupid. We should
There's- As you are talking, you suddenly hear a voice speak up. Perhaps there are better ways to utilize your abilities.
Well,
I don't hear that.
That?
do I?
You do.
I do.
okay.
And you look around and you see that there is
What the fuck?
like an old man just sitting beneath the tree that you somehow did not notice before.
Have you just been like watching us?
I have. And this goes out to the fabulous Ihara. Here is your environmental effect.
Oh my God, it's
Oh,
wisdom.
dear.
You can feel, because you have a touchstone, you can feel that this person, whoever they are, is actually holding the tension between your two touchstones right now.
Yeah, immediate catty teenage attitude is just oozing from Kate. So, what's up? Why are you doing this?
Well, that is a very difficult question to answer. I am attempting to start the music of the spheres once again. I am attempting to rebalance the multiverse. I am attempting to help guide the future. What are you doing?
What the fuck?
Talking to some old creepy dude underneath a tree, apparently, about the future. My future is not for you, just so we're clear.
That's true. Your future is for my sister.
Who's your
No.
sister?
Bella, you feel your connection to nature, everything that makes you a druid, while you are in the presence of this person, you can literally feel the roots of the grass absorbing water. You can feel the trees, every insect, every hive in the city. Your abilities are so amplified in the presence of this person.
So he feels good for nature. Like he's a positive influence, or is it too much?
No, it's not that he's altering nature. He's not influencing it all. He's influencing you. Your abilities with your wisdom are so around.
Okay. I think that puts me more at ease. Or no, it would probably scare me. Just what are
Yeah, no, you
doing
are
to me?
You very easily recognize that you are in the presence of an actual god.
Wow. Okay. I probably practice ritual and bow then.
He looks at you and seems like a little surprised, given the company that you're keeping. Like, is honestly a little surprised at the balance. Like, thank you. That's quite generous.
I must warn you, these men are planning to do horrible things to a lake near my hometown.
What did they do?
They're dumping sewage.
That
They
violates.
are what's happened. Wisdom sort of looks at you and explains what's been going on. That as they have been setting up for this ritual, it created some magical dissonance near the lake, which is altering the course of many of the beasts and creatures in that area. It is disrupting things, truly. But they are not doing anything untoward. They are simply trying to get my attention. That is all.
What do they want your attention for?
They don't understand how necessary so much of this is. They think that they are being punished because they only see the short term. They don't want to reckon with the fact that the last 10 years have been incredibly destructive, not only for this world, but for the multiverse. And there will be some turmoil as we put things back on track. But they operate on the arc of a day or a week or a year, and I operate on the arc of a multiverse.
Did you do that? And I gesture to like everything, the everything.
He looks around and he's like, no, I don't have the power to do this. This was the Touchstones interacting in an interesting way.
The what?
We just talk about that stuff willy-nilly now? Like, I didn't want this random frog lady to know that I had some super magical artifact thing.
You do?
No, don't. No.
In case you did not pick up on it, she is in fact lying to you right now.
Those are such bummers.
Okay.
Okay, so what now, Mr. Wisdom? Like, so what you want us to this is just really annoying. Nobody asked me if I wanted any of this shit.
That's true. Many are called to greatness without ever having been asked. And while you don't understand it quite yet, you will discover your own greatness.
Duh. I know that.
I love you so much.
That's not what we're talking. Is that if you're here because of that, then don't worry, I'm good. But yeah.
No, I am here because you're missing a party.
Well, I'm not in charge of that.
You're not a recruiter.
That's not my department. I can get you a referral. My colleague over here, actually.
Maltoven is like pointed downward at like a 45-degree angle, arm extended, frozen in place. The look in his eyes is one of like confusion and just annoyance.
As all of this is happening, Bella, this person turns to you and just says, if you want to save your leg, these three are the ones that will allow you to do that.
Appropriate reaction.
All right. I thank you. How?
We're fucking awesome.
That laugh is in character.
Now, time for me to go. But
I bow again.
Yay!
and they bow to you, and they
Bella
look
is
over to Cade.
Bella
and they
is
say-
honor stricken by that bow.
They look to Cade and they say hello to my sister.
It'll be a very long time before that happens because you know what I do? I survive.
He looks at you and he just repeats the signal
Yes.
to you and then turns them into scissors and you feel the rubber band snap.
Nice.
You are flung all the way across the street, slamming into a wall. And Maltoven, you go in the opposite direction, being slammed into the wall on the opposite side of the street, as it was your touchstone that started it too.
As Maltoven is about to like make contact with the wall, you see once again like a force field, as it were, kind of extend from him, and so like it is like a dome shape indent into the wall of Maltoven. It's like unharmed.
So fun.
And he just locks
now-
eyes
So,
with
Sullivan. So Sullivan, what you see is one instant, everybody was sort of rushing towards the mage. Now what you see is like a pony trying to like figure out where they're supposed to go. At this point, the head and the chest of the mage have exploded. Your friends have been like slammed into walls, and there is a green and pink frog standing in front of all of you. What do you make of all this?
Uh-oh.
Yep, you're muted.
Muted.
We cannot hear you.
Sullivan thinks can't see the intervening time because it's time stop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So yeah, Sullivan is continuing to run towards where the body is and the frog is now. The giant knife that he was pulling out before is continuing to come out. and he is rushing at the frog.
Oh my god! No!
I love it. If you've got a very angry looking person with a big old knife coming at you, fella.
Not
What you
angry,
gonna do?
still smiling, but
Smiling.
The worst.
That's even scarier.
This is a very different experience than the one you just had.
How big is he?
he's about 5'10".
Yeah, what does she see as you come running towards her?
So, he's about 5'10", slender built. He has copper-colored skin, fiery red hair that's undercut on the side and built into a pompadour on front that comes to a ponytail in back.
Oh.
And he's dressed in what looks like relatively nice jacket, relatively nice pants, and very, very old boots with this cloak wrapped around him in a very thin scarf as he's charging, smiling.
So his face is uncovered?
His face is totally uncovered, yes.
I'm going to uncork one of the vials that I have on my belt and just try and splash it up into your face.
Please tell me what is in this vial.
It's the healing sleeping anecdote. It's the
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
Did we determine a DC for this?
what?
Did we determine a DC for this? A
We
saving
didn't
throw?
yet. No.
What's your druid spell DC?
How do I find that? I am so sorry.
That should be on your D&D Beyond character sheet under spells.
Yeah.
Under spells.
very-
Okay. 18.
18. Hey, Sullivan, could you please roll me a DC 18 Wisdom saving throw?
Maybe. We'll see.
Oh my god.
Oh, meets. There you go. So you
Alright.
did. So as this happens, you suddenly go a little blurry, and you feel very tired, but you are not actually falling asleep. What are you gonna do now?
Well, Sullivan is going to finish, since he's right here, he's going to hold the knife up at the throat, not directly at, but pointing at. I'm going to go with, since you just hit me with something less strong than I drink on a Tuesday night, you didn't explode this gentleman right here below my feet.
Explode?
Behold, he's missing large chunks of himself.
Oh, I did that. Yeah.
Oh my
god! Another environmental
Thank you so
effect!
much,
Holy
no
hell!
character. There's another environmental effect in store then. No
Oh,
character.
no.
For giving 5 community subs, we are going to help our players. You may choose between
Ooh, hype train! It's
magic.
coming.
Oh damn, we could get a hype train going. That would be super fabulous. You get all kinds of bonuses if you get a hype train. So there's you may choose between the following 3 options. You may choose between the binding word. I can't remember everybody's planar touchstone names yet. The binding word, the time knife, or magic's price. Let me know which of those you would like, and we shall do it. Yes. Just so you know, if we do get a hype train, first level, the characters all get inspiration. Elena, what do we get with second level? Everybody gets a short rest with second level. Third level? Ooh, we get a Wheel of Chaos if we get to level 3. Ooh, I want that. I want everybody to do Wheel of Chaos. That's fun.
Hype
Hype
train!
Yay, Phantom! All right, so we've got our first environmental effect is going to be pick one of the 3 characters that has a touchstone, and that person, we will do a fabulous, fabulous environmental effect for that. Everybody, you may now put inspiration on your character sheets, and you get the effects of a short rest. We're already at a level 2 fight stream.
Oh my god, we are
Wow.
running this. All
So
right.
that is super exciting. There is, oh my gosh, we got the level 3 Wheel of Chaos. Everybody,
Okay.
we get to, I would like to see some Wheel of Chaos emotes in chat, please, because this is gonna be super fabulous. Let's do it. First off, we're gonna do Bella. Lando, please give me a Wheel of Chaos. It's gonna be glorious on the Wheel of Chaos. And I love like the Wheel of Chaos is going and there's just like there's a massive thunderstorm happening right outside my
Oh
window.
no.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
lucky! I
Like,
love
yes.
thunderstorms.
Oh, me too. I love it right on the edge of the storm where all the chaos lives. That would be
Mhm.
fucking fabulous. Bella, let's see what you get.
How do I do this? Or do I not?
So
do it?
Lando's going to roll for you and let us know
Okay.
what you get on chaos. What is it?
Oh, well, spear.
You get to cast spiritual weapon one time.
Wow,
Great,
that's
baby.
really
A
cool.
Spell. Hold on to that one. Next, let us see. What is Maltoven going to get on the Wheel of Chaos?
Oh my god, that is wonderful.
Spray.
Nice.
Damn. Okay, damn. All right. Cade. What does Cade get?
Something bad.
Do it. What is this?
I'm
Oh,
immune
no.
to poison.
Hey, baby!
You are perfect.
So you are now poisoned.
No, I'm
so
not.
No.
You accidentally, touched the grung. Or no, you got
I'm
some of that
immune.
poison splashed on you accidentally.
But I'm a paladin.
This is the Wheel of Chaos, my dear.
Oh. Okay,
This
so
is beyond God.
really, it's
Oh.
Wisdom, Mr. Wisdom, with his bad attitude, poisoned me.
That is
Oh,
correct.
God.
Yeah,
His
I
bad
don't know how to
vibes.
eat through that.
Mhm.
I love it. There is, and Sullivan, what does Sullivan get?
Oh my god.
Damn,
Nice.
you get to cast telekinesis once. All right.
That's a
You may cast those spells without using crystals, and you get to cast them rules as written at one time. So they'll last as long as concentration does all that good stuff. That is super fabulous. I would like to say thank you to Phantom, who is one of our biggest supporters. I adore you. I would like to say thank you to Lando and to Pixie and to Bramblebush and to Vale. I love it. Snowflake Boy, hi! I can't wait till I get to see Snowflake Boy here. Snowflake Boy has played a couple of characters on her channel. I always love it when they come on. And no character, thank you for the bits. That is fabulous. And we will see what we get with all of them now when we get to the end of this hype train. But for now, let us see what's going to happen now. So, you have just acknowledged that you are the one that exploded the cleric. Well, what's going on here?
Yeah, that was me.
Color me curious as to how such a charming young amphibian such as yourself, I think, I'm no great judge of amphibian ages, could do that with a simple arrow.
Hey, it's a dude. They tend to explode when they get hit by arrows.
I can tell you with some surety they do not generally.
So as you are very intelligent. So what's your intelligence, Sullivan?
13.
Oh, 13, okay.
Very
Okay,
intelligent.
you're not.
Very
Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah.
I am very wise.
personable.
Thank you for the sub, no character. That's fabulous. There is, all right, and how intelligent are you, Bella?
I think 10, 12, Hold on.
Okay, you may each to understand like the laws of time and physics and things like that. You may each make me a DC. This one's pretty advanced degree for a medieval society. So give me a DC 19 intelligence check so you can
Okay.
figure out
I just
what's
say I don't
actually
pass
going
it.
on.
I got a 7.
As they are trying to figure this shit out, Maltofin gets himself up as he begins to walk into like between these two.
You may absolutely give me an intelligence check as well if you'd like.
Oh, absolutely. Considering my touchstone, do I have advantage on this intelligence check?
Can I just tell everybody what happened? Because the wisdom dude explained it.
Yeah, I guess I heard that, but I don't fucking know what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that was just a 22 on both, regardless.
Wow.
Straight
So-
22s.
So you figure out very quickly that there was a time slip. Like you get it. Things shifted. You understand that. And what you get is that when the arrows actually entered the field of the time stop, that there was an enormous amount of force that was stopped instantaneously and had to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And so it went into the body
A massive exothermic reaction.
and just
Okay. I'm not going to try to waste time here trying to explain the infinite to the both of you. But, you, marksman, you deal with arrows, yes?
Mark's frog.
Yes, constantly.
Do you know what makes an arrow deadly?
The bow.
Pointy thing on the
The
end.
speed behind it.
Oh,
And
you-
and the poison and the pointy thing.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
The
It's
pointy
the
thing.
poison and the pointy thing.
Yes.
It's
Maltofin, after hearing that, just like he begins to try to continue the explanation. This is pointless. Never mind.
Although I
Yes.
suppose without the bow, you could still just stab someone.
Yeah.
Arrows are still very deadly on their own.
Am
So
I
yes,
still
I-
learning
Do you
my
not
case?
understand that?
I don't think he does. He doesn't really do a lot of the fighting, from what I've seen.
What?
Like, not the fight, like the hand to hand. You shoot, you go.
I'm sorry that I rely upon my vast intellect rather than primitive tools for
Not too
combat.
fast if you didn't know I could just stab someone.
As you can see, this man relied on his brain too. It's over there and there, and I believe there's a little bit there.
You got brain. Oh, the smart moves.
Of course. I do believe we had a ritual to prevent.
No, we already talked to Wisdom. It's fine.
What?
Yeah,
Excuse
Bella
me?
and I, my lady frog.
I'm Bella. My lord appeared before me. It's crazy.
And then he bowed to her at the end. I saw your face. Oh my gosh, you blushed so hard, but I don't think he saw it.
You spoke to wisdom.
To the god of wisdom.
Really, really annoying. I shouldn't say that, but
He was
Wisdom
not
is
annoying at all.
I'm not surprised that wisdom would be antithetical to you.
I would like to ask the characters or the players, would you prefer to have an environmental effect, or because we've gotten so many fabulous subs today, would you prefer to have one of your weapons evolve?
I vote to have the oath bow evolve.
Does evolved mean like return to the former?
We don't
It
know.
is something interesting, yes.
I will-
I would vote for evolve. Yeah.
I will go with evolve.
Yeah.
All right, delightful. Because our high train was super fabulous, we are going to do an evolution. So the next time you use your bow, there might be something interesting going on.
Okay. Very cool.
And let's see, we got 750 bits. So what you get is you get one combo move,
Ooh.
and you get
That was
2
nothing.
+1s, which you can use for, and we'll give you 3 +1s because it's 75. So a combo move, you are allowed to use somebody else's action on your turn without denying them that action on their turn. So it's a free action, but you have to use somebody else in your move. And then +1s can be applied here for the group. There's a total of 3. You may apply them to try to get to where you need to on a roll, right? And now, Maltoven, tell me, what do you think of this person standing in front of you?
I sized them up. The ornate and immaculate bow that they carry, be it a primitive weapon, it seems rather useful. And the bits of person that is scattered around the place. Even though it was aided by time having been stopped and them breaking all laws of chronology in order to back it with such great power, their precision does impress. I'm sorry, I did not catch your name.
I did not catch yours either.
You are still Maltoven. Talavera Maltoven.
Balestra Jade. And I don't put my glove on to shake his hand.
Oh, damn! What's
They
the
just-
DC?
Maltoven does not make a gesture towards shaking hands. He's still
I
arms
figured.
crossed, floating in the sky.
You may, Maltoven, make me a nature check.
Nature, of course.
I want to see how much you know about grunts.
Fuck.
Crit. That's a 25.
Oh shoot, he
wow.
knows your
Yeah.
grandma.
Yeah, for real.
Not only do you know about grunts, you know specifically about the pink and green grunts. You know that their skin not only exudes a poison, but if properly treated, that poison can not only poison somebody, but can put you to sleep.
I see. You excrete. You're one of the you're the grung that excrete sleep-inducing drugs, no?
That is such a weird
Hey.
thing to ask somebody when you meet them.
Well, it's
Oh, that's
it's
like
necessary.
no. Is it right now?
Yes, actually.
Considering they just tried to shake his hand, yes, I think it's very necessary.
Oh.
Is this
Oh.
a question? It sounds like you know.
Oh, yes, I'm aware, but I just want to know if you'd be forthcoming.
So
Then yes. No point in lying.
You seem skilled. I may have a opportunity for you.
speaking of opportunity, I know the location of something. Did you feel that too? When we kind of bumped tips?
I'm sorry, for the first time in a very long time, I was trapped within the infinite instead of flowing through it. So I really didn't get the opportunity to
Yeah.
sense anything.
Did you just say when you bumped?
Yes, she did.
Yes, he did.
You're quickly
Salt.
becoming my new favorite character.
She's a 15-year-old.
All of
15-year-old
it
got a 15.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious when I missed this.
Well, everything
ahead
was
of it.
frozen, and Kate's gonna explain from her teenage perspective.
Oh god.
So there's a lot of like, oh my gods, and then so this is what happened, and then so this, and then so we did this, and then you have to this.
Mhm.
Yeah, so there's a Touchstone of Dreams.
That was who our current
I know where.
target is.
I know
Where?
where.
Where are they?
That's
They're in the
convenient.
city.
They're in the city?
You know that they are close by. Like, you know that they are. You can feel them. They are in this arm of the city, so they're like in either like a tavern or a shop or something like that. This is the sort of entertainment district.
Follow that intuition. And Dreamer. Carry your bow with you. Strike true.
What did you just call me?
Dreamer.
Why?
You'll see soon. Come along. And
As
Moltovan, saying nothing, just kind of turns and begins floating.
As you say that, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
All right. Wisdom saving throw. I'm not good at these. That's a 10.
Oh, yeah. As you unintentionally reveal something that hasn't happened yet,
Oh, fuck.
suddenly you feel this like a giant bell tolls inside you. Like it feels like your bones are sort of trying to shake apart. And all of you see an image sort of him splitting into two.
No, not like this.
And
May I cut in and ask something?
Uh-huh.
I am already very heavily related to dreams in my own abilities. I figured that he meant. Whoa, my god! I figured
So
that
sorry.
he meant like that way. I thought that he was mind reading me.
Nope.
no,
Okay.
this had to do with the touchstones.
Yep. Fuck.
There is. So regardless of what you thought, he
Mhm.
just revealed something. You don't know what. What you all see is this image of him sort of splitting into two. Tell me, what does the main image say?
What was that? I didn't catch that.
What does the main image of you say?
The main image of me looks on to the time-splitting, like, duplicate. God damn it, I need to... And he looks back, man, I'm just befuddled at this
I
point.
just need the first, like, give you half a sentence.
Not now, not like this!
And the image repeats to you, "Not now, you dumb fuck." And you see them, the two, he sort of starts drifting off. As he starts drifting off, Sullivan, your touchstone doesn't quite ignite, but suddenly you see threads trying to unweave themselves, and some of them trying to weave together into something that you can't quite see. And everyone who has a touchstone suddenly sees a flash of a scythe. And that's it. And then everything is fine again.
There's a subtle glow coming from the top of Sullivan's shirt, and he grips his knife more tightly, takes a half step towards Moltovan, and then sheaths his knife as everything goes away.
Fabulous. Yes, you know where this person is. Tell me, Bella, what do you make of all of this? What's your internal monologue right now?
What the fuck kind of cult am I in now? Why did my god direct me to bunk with circus freaks?
Circus freak is a compliment, I'll have you know.
I didn't say it was an insult.
Fair enough. Touche.
Well, you know where the touchstone is. Moltovan, you know what you need to do.
Bella. Once we meet our mark, do not miss your shot.
I rarely do.
Good. Kate, lead the way.
Okie dokie artichoke.
Bella, do you have any idea what's being asked of you right now?
Nope, but I'm not too hesitant to kill people.
Good enough for Maltoven. Put that up, Bob.
I love it. You make your way through the city, and just a couple blocks away, you find a tavern that is full. You can hear somebody singing inside, and the audience is just sort of quiet. Lando, we could cut the music. That would be awesome. So as you look inside, you see that there is someone on the stage. I don't know if Lando is still here, but can we cut the music?
Well,
Maybe
beloved
not.
tech. Our beloved tech has abandoned us all.
Tech issues, tech issues.
Oh my god! No, we just need to cut the
Technology
music.
takes no bio break.
Technology. Yeah. Thank you.
There we go. So
Oh my
as you are,
Oh my god, I need you.
Yeah, this is Benjamin. Sorry.
Oh my god! Hi, Benj.
He's looking at my other screen that has pictures on it.
oh my God. There we go. So you definitely see in the audience like whole families like bringing their kids, like, and there's somebody on the stage, and what you see is gorgeous and very surprising given the state of magic in the world. You see as they sing that the songs begin to take shape in front of them, showing the audience exactly what's going on. And as you stand outside the tavern, you see the story of forlorn lovers separated by a great distance. As you hear, think of me fondly when you've said goodbye. You remember me once in a while. Please promise me you'll try. I never said our love was evergreen or as unchanging as the sea. But if you could spare one moment, please stop and think of me. And they go on after that, continuing this song of two lovers trying to find themselves once again. Tell me, what are you going to do?
I'm going to approach our query.
You're going to what?
Approach the, like, do we know where they are in this tavern already? Well,
They are on the stage.
I see.
The center
Oh,
of attention is they are
Alright.
singing to a
Not a
huge
problem.
crowd in the tavern.
I would wait until their performance is over.
Fabulous. Would anyone else like to do anything?
Sit
Sullivan-
down and enjoy the show.
Fabulous. So you're all just going to head in as you are, just grab a drink, sit down.
For the first time since Maltoven has known him, Cade too for that matter, Sullivan is not joining the throng, not joining the crowd. He is standing by the table with his eyes locked onto the stage. Not smiling, not moving, just staring.
I'd like to know what is your internal monologue right now, Sullivan?
It's not really relevant, is it?
I love it. They continue to sing for a few moments. And then when they get to the crescendo of the piece, you see just this gorgeous dreamscape appear behind them, and it is stunningly beautiful. You just hear these oohs and ahs from the crowd. And at the end of his performance, you see just flowers, coins being thrown up on the stage. You definitely see a few undergarments, you know, you make their way up there. And you see the bartender seems to have like a slate board, and you see people run up to the bar, and you realize after a minute that these are the number of drinks that are being bought for this guy. And it is like, you see it's like a good 24 of them at this point.
Get lit.
What would you like to do?
I'm going to approach them as they are preparing to enjoy their spoils. Sit it next to them.
Oh, hi. Are you
Hi.
are you a fan?
We've met before, don't worry. I just wanted to
Oh.
speak.
I'm so sorry. I don't recall. I do meet so many people and I travel so much.
I know.
I really apologize.
It's quite all right. Though I do believe I am the one who owes you an apology.
Oh.
You see, you have something that I desperately need.
Oh. Oh, well, we just got another raid.
Hello!
Before we find out what you need, thank you for the raid. Make this epic. You just missed the musical interlude.
Mhm.
Which was fantastic, by the way.
Awesome.
I love that.
There's so welcome as we discover just what these people are going to do with this nice little bard they met. So he looks and he's just like, what would you ever need to apologize for?
Sullivan has followed Maltovan over and is standing roughly behind him.
I look over my shoulder before I respond to see if Bella is already preparing to take aim.
We are in a very crowded room, right?
Yes.
Yes, very.
I just dipped my finger in one of his drinks.
Dip your finger into one of the singer's drinks.
Yeah.
Okay. Make me a sleight of hand check. I want to
Okay.
see just how sleighty of handy you are. Yes.
Can I try to either assist with the sleight of hand or with the distraction? And
Tell me how you would do it.
Oh my god, that was so good. When you did the height, oh my god, I almost cried. That was so good.
Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. So you may have advantage on that with that delightful.
Good thing you do.
Thank fucking God. Oh, wait. Sorry, that was the wrong.
Oh my
That was
god!
wrong roll,
Wait,
that was
oh,
wrong
yes,
roll,
that's
wrong
right.
roll.
All right, add
Okay,
5 to
with
that.
the-
Add
with
5 to that. That's
With
20.
15, you absolutely, like, there's enough people, there's enough stuff going on. You can definitely get a finger into their drink. And they're just like, oh, thank you so much.
Could you sign my journal for me?
Oh, absolutely. That's a weird request. I've never gotten that before, but sure, absolutely.
Cheers.
He pulls out like a charcoal, and like, what do you like? Like, do you want?
If you could just say "love you to death."
Sure, love you to death.
I whisper in Maltovin's ear while that's
Everyone.
happening. When he falls asleep, play it off like he's drunk. Take him away.
Right.
Yeah, Well, I'm so glad that you enjoyed that.
It was my first time seeing a live performance like this too. Like, oh my
God. Well,
Sure.
I do perform all over the place. I'm next scheduled to head up to a place called Delver's Dream. It's like a mine in the mountains, but it is definitely, like it's weirdly enough, it's a huge point of commerce up there. And they've asked me to come and do a few performances for a couple weeks up there. So
Oh,
I'll be
wow.
there then.
Who
Yeah.
asked you? Who's your contact?
Well, I was asked by, and he sort of puffs out his chest a little bit. He's like, well, I was asked by the king of the dwarves, Bandoff Noble Fury.
wow. You're like a really big deal. Oh my gosh. This is
I mean,
amazing.
I'm not really. And he gets all like bashful and like blushes a little bit. So I don't,
Don't sell yourself short.
Well, here, let's take a cheers to a wonderful evening and a wonderful performance. That was just brilliant.
Oh, thank you. And he picks up, I'm gonna need you, Bella, please roll me a D20. If it's above 10, he'll grab one of the drinks that you put it in, but there's so many drinks up there that he might pick a different one.
Right.
Can I influence this by?
You what?
Can I influence this by like literally picking up and handing him one to make a toast with?
Absolutely you can. Yes. So he takes the drink out of your hand, and
Do I
he
roll
says-
D20?
no, you've succeeded. Yeah.
Fantastic.
There.
Thank you.
I'm sorry that that your fellow player robbed you of your role.
I'm sorry.
I wanted to hear the clink.
I wanted to hear the clink clack. Okay.
He just picks up the drink and says, looks at all of you and is like, to beauty in all of its many and varied forms. Think.
The new friends.
And he is going to just take like a big swig and look at all of you and just be like, oh, it's been lovely to meet you all. And he goes and grabs the next drink. He says, I do need to go and speak with the tavern owner so that I can arrange for
Oh,
Yes.
please wait, no. And I'm going to look into their eyes.
He's passing
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
no.
Oh, stay, be merry. I'm going to cast Charm Person as a purple glisten from my eyes connects with their gaze.
Fabulous.
Okay.
And did you pull a crystal out?
This is one of my already like infusions. It is. I'll go into the
Okay.
details of it, but yeah.
And he just sort of like he's still sort of swaying and slowly passing out.
I like grab hold of him, kind of like at the small of his back, and don't fall. Don't worry, we'll take you to your.
Why do I feel so funny?
These drinks, they are strong, you know. I'm gonna like start guiding them towards their room, really to them out of here and
Out of the common
There's-
room.
to an alley, to a secondary location, as it were.
Are you taking them out the front door, out the back door, like?
Out the back. Not really trying to get swamped by a bunch of fans.
Absolutely. There's as you exit the back door, you hear the tavern keeper come after you and just be like, hey, I need to give you, and he's got like this big purse in his hand. He's like, you were amazing today. I just love
Take it for
so
him.
much."
I'm his new assistant.
Oh, that's okay. That's a very interesting
Bodyguard
dress
assistant.
you've got there.
It's a 2-for-1. But yeah, we're just taking him out for some air.
Yes.
Oh.
Apologies. They are quite exhausted from that performance. They would like to get home as soon as possible.
Oh, well, just as long as he's back by 8 to do the evening show.
Of course, we'll ensure it.
And he'll hand you the coins. What are you gonna do now?
Escort them to somewhere more discreet.
All right. There are places in the city that are like that are a little quieter than others. But most places there will be guards of some kind. So what type of place are you going to take them to?
Places with a lot of criminal activity. The ones where it's known not to walk there in the middle of the night, really.
Let's see. So you having existed the way you did and having gone to Briny Bridge, you would know that down towards the shore there is a place where ships tend to dock that have parcels that are not necessarily known to customs, as it were.
I take them there.
As you're wandering through the streets, they finally just fall down. Like they're just completely asleep at this point. What will you do then?
We have Chansey.
Either that or I can carry him. Either way.
Yeah.
We could each take an arm and do the old comedy routine.
Oh yeah, weekend at Bernie's.
We can have Bernie's.
We can do
I love
Brady's.
it.
I think you two are tall enough to do that.
I was about to ask what everyone's heights are, because we definitely couldn't do that.
I'm 5 foot.
Yeah, you
I'm
two
11.
You two can do that. I am
whatever.
3'3".
Yeah, I'm
So we
3
can-
foot, so.
We can figure out how to make it work.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we get there.
So you get down to that area, and you find a spot underneath one of the bridges, underneath one of the bridges out to the piers, that you know is a pretty quiet spot.
Another
And-
raid! Oh my god, welcome!
Welcome, welcome,
Yay!
welcome. We are discovering what these lovely people are about to do with this
Lovely.
nice singer that they met.
As we get to beneath this harbor, as it were, I have both Kay and Sullivan place down the singer before making my way towards her, and
Him.
trying to stir him just a smidge, get his attention to me.
The poison, because it was just a quick thing, it's a little diluted, so they're not like asleep for the night. So you can, after maybe 10 minutes, you can actually get them sort of revived, but they're still very groggy.
I know you cannot really parse anything that I'm saying right now. Just know, and truly after this moment it won't matter, but I want you to understand this was necessary, and your sacrifice will not be forgotten by the infinite. And after that, I'm going to take a step away, wash my hands of the situation, and point towards Bella to take the shot.
I start to knock my arrow and hesitate. What will this action actually do?
The instant Bella hesitates, Sullivan just takes his knife and sticks it straight through his throat.
Sullivan, your impatience will be the undoing for us all.
We couldn't take chances.
So technically, he is still alive. It will take him a moment to bleed out. Approximately in that, if you essentially like cut its throat, it would be about 30 to 45 seconds.
As
Oh
as
my God.
Hello! I've been talking about the logistics of.
Welcome, Hermit Barbarian.
That's a perfect raid for what's happening right now.
You get to see towards the end of this. We are towards the end of our episode. You get to see what happens when someone steals a touchstone from someone else.
As soon as he stabs the throat and I see that wasn't a swift death, I hiss mercifully and shoot him in the head.
As you do that, Lando, a little foreboding would be great here. As you do this, a power washes over you unlike anything you've ever felt, even when you met your God. You suddenly see the entire crystal sphere coming together, understanding your place in the wide, wide multiverse. You are startled, almost terrified, as you watch your vision begin to blur, or so you think. Then as things settled, you see auras around all of your friends, taking shape, images, items, landscapes. You cannot put rhyme or reason to them right now, but you feel your connection to the one you just murdered. And in that connection, you see what was. You see an entire year of life stolen by you. You see your 3 new companions and this young singer traveling the world, conquering it, driving people from their homes, separating entire countries into a patchwork of inconvenience and death. You see the year passing, and you watch Maltoven loving it. And in the end, you see a woman similar of face to Wisdom. Though her head is surrounded by blades. You see the Lady of Pain speaking in the final moments to Maltoven. One question is asked: who are you? And in that final second, she responds, I am Wisdom's sister. I am fate. The crystal sphere explodes, shattering the song forever, destroying the multiverse itself. You see Maltoven throw himself back 1 year to stop the destruction of this and every other world. And to do that, he needs your help. And with that, we will end our session today. Yay.
Jeez. Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. It was so much fun. I am so glad that we got to get introduced to all of the fabulous new characters who will do whatever is necessary to get what they want. And I am super excited to see how they play with the Delvers and the Hunters. Ooh, yay. And thank you everybody for helping us with all of the raids. That was so incredible. And for the hype train, it was amazing. And now, please, everybody, take a moment and hit !raffle so that you can win some fabulous Phoenix dice. !raffle. We will be getting that in just a moment. And in the meantime, I would like to do what we call favorite moments. So, hey, Bella, what was your favorite moment from this adventure?
Meeting wisdom. Meeting my actual god.
Meeting
And
Big
Sal.
Daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the power of an environmental effect. Like, that's what'll happen. Some
Yeah.
crazy shit starts going down.
I thought it meant like wind would blow.
That kind of a environmental, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. And hey, Maltopin, what was your favorite moment?
Ah, boy. I'm gonna have to say, like, Bella being, attuning to the Touchstone of Dreams and getting all of the history that Maltopin just kind of sitting there when she, comes to, just not even acknowledging the dead body. It's just his mind focused on what he has to do ahead.
Well, Maltopin also does not know that Bella knows.
Like, he doesn't know that he knows. He's just like, regardless of whatever happened, he was just like, okay, what checklist? First thing on the list is done. Need to do more things. Immediately thinking.
I love it. And Kate, what was your favorite moment?
Kate's favorite moment was the part where she and Melvin blew apart and the guy exploded, and that was just the Michael Bay moment was
Oh, man.
I love it, yes. Michael Bay. And thank you so much for the follow, Mina Morris. Welcome, welcome. And Sullivan, what was your favorite moment?
So I really liked when we were talking to the priest and Cade switched from normal Cade to answer the question.
That will be
That was
happening a
absolutely
lot.
delightful. Makes me so happy. Yay. And now I hope everybody has signed up to win some dice. Let's do a fabulous dice raffle, shall we? Lando, who's going to do it? Who's going to win it? What fabulous human is going to get some dice? Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Oh, Josh! Yay! Josh, send me a note on Discord and let me know. Just say Phoenix Dice, and I will get you hooked up with some fabulous, fabulous Phoenix Dice. And in the meantime, everybody, thank you so much for being here. We are going to go raid one of our stream team members, Cardi Sideshow. So let's go send them some love. It's going to be absolutely delightful. They are doing some fabulous D&D. And remember, when Play Nerd Allies goes on a raid, we tell them what we're bringing to the potluck. I personally am going to be bringing wisdom and fate.
Oh, yes.
What are you all going to be bringing?
Debauchery.
Debauchery? I'm going to be bringing many shots. So many shots.
Vengeance.
All the shards.
Sullivan
I
approves of
love
both
it.
of these.
I'm bringing brownies.
Let's go around.
Bringing brownies.
I love it. Pixie's going to bring a crochet hedgehog. Lando, are you the one that's ready right now?
Oh, yep, there we are.